There are two kinds of people who pick up the psychology of money: those who want to get rich and those who want to understand why they haven't. But here's the twist: no one tells you. This book isn't really about money. It's about you, about your fears, your habits, your ego, and the quiet stories you tell yourself about wealth. It's about the choices you make without even realizing, the ones that shape your financial destiny. And that's why this book has quietly taken over the world.
Because it doesn't promise to make you richer. It shows you why you aren't yet. Money is not about numbers. It's about behavior. Most people believe the key to wealth is intelligence. They think financial success belongs to those who are smarter, better educated, or more analytical. But Morgan Housel destroys that myth in the very first chapters. He says, doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. It's not your IQ that determines your bank account. It's your emotional control. How do you react when the market crashes? When everyone's buying and you feel the FOMO? When your neighbor just upgraded his car and you suddenly feel behind? Those moments expose your real financial skill. Not what you know, but what you can resist. The market doesn't punish ignorance. It punishes impulsiveness. And that's why so many smart people end up broke, while quiet, patient, ordinary people quietly build fortunes. The difference isn't knowledge, it's temperament. Everyone's money story is different. Imagine two people growing up in completely different realities. One lived in poverty, where every bill was a fight for survival. The other never worried about money. It was always there. Now tell both of them to invest for the long term. They'll hear the same advice, but understand it completely differently. That's the foundation of Housel's message. Our experiences shape our financial behavior. You're not stupid for being cautious. You're just remembering what scarcity feels like. You're not greedy for wanting more. You're just scared of losing it all again. And that explains why so many financial arguments never end. We're not disagreeing about facts. We're disagreeing about worldviews. Each person builds a money mindset from personal history. And yet we judge each other as if we all started from the same place. Housel invites us to drop the judgment and embrace empathy. Because until you understand someone's financial past, you'll never understand their financial present. Luck and risk, the invisible twins. One of the most uncomfortable truths in the psychology of money is how deeply luck and risk control our outcomes. You can do everything right and still fail. You can make reckless decisions and still win. It doesn't always mean you were smart or stupid. Sometimes it just means life happened. Housel uses Bill Gates as an example. Gates went to one of the only high schools in the world that had a computer in the 1970s. That one random detail changed the course of technology and his entire life. For every Gates, there were thousands of equally smart kids who never got the same chance. So the book humbles you. It reminds you that success isn't a formula. It's a mix of timing, decisions, and things beyond your control. But that shouldn't make you powerless. It should make you grateful and careful not to mistake luck for skill. Time is the real engine of wealth. Compounding is the most powerful force in finance, and yet it only works for those who wait. We think in short bursts, not long arcs. We overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in a decade. Warren Buffett made 99% of his wealth after the age of 50, not because he found a secret formula, but because he simply stayed in the game longer than everyone else. That's the message Housel drills in. The longer you stay consistent, the more the world rewards you. Most people fail not because the system is rigged, but because they give up before the magic happens. Patience is underrated. Discipline is boring. But together, they create something extraordinary. Freedom. Getting rich versus staying rich. Getting rich takes boldness. Staying rich takes humility. And here's where most people fail. They don't know when to switch gears. You can build wealth by taking risks, but to keep it, you have to learn to say, enough. Housel says the reason many fortunes disappear isn't bad luck, it's ego. When more becomes the goal, no amount ever satisfies. The investor who doubles his income suddenly wants triple. The employee who gets a raise immediately upgrades his lifestyle. The entrepreneur who wins once now wants to win bigger, faster, until it collapses. Staying rich is an act of restraint, knowing when to stop chasing and start protecting. Because in the end, The greatest loss isn't financial, it's peace of mind. The price of wealth is uncertainty. Every form of wealth comes with a hidden cost, and that cost is uncertainty. There's no investment without risk, no business without fear, no progress without discomfort. Most people want returns without volatility, gain without sacrifice, but that's not how the world works. Housel calls it the fee, not the fine. The market's ups and downs aren't a penalty for being in the game. They're the price of admission. When you see that volatility as the cost of opportunity, you stop panicking and start accepting. Because the truth is, every dream you chase will demand a price. The question is, are you willing to pay it? The illusion of status, and why showing off is expensive. Here's one of the most brutal truths in the book. People don't admire your luxury. They admire themselves in your position. You buy a new car thinking people will notice you, but they're too busy imagining them driving it. This is what Housel calls the man in the car paradox. You try to impress the world, but no one is really watching. That realization is liberating. It means you can stop wasting money trying to look rich and start building quietly to become rich. True wealth isn't loud. It's invisible. It's the house you don't brag about, the investments no one knows you have, and the freedom no one can take away. Freedom, the real reason to seek wealth. The most powerful idea in the psychology of money is this: money's greatest value isn't in what it buys, it's in what it frees you from. The freedom to choose how you spend your time, the freedom to walk away from things that drain you, the freedom to say no, not out of fear, but out of choice. That's why Housel defines wealth not as income, but as control over your time. When you can wake up and decide what to do, where to go, and who to spend the day with, that's when you've truly made it. Because luxury fades, but freedom feels the same every single day. The hidden problem, not having a plan. Here's the quiet truth behind every financial failure. People don't plan to lose. They just don't plan at all. You can read every book, watch every video, and still stay stuck if you don't create a roadmap for your money. And that's where most dreams die. Not for lack of opportunity, but for lack of direction. If you've never built a simple monthly financial plan, start now. Watch the video on our channel, where we explain exactly how to do it, even if you've never budgeted before. Because understanding money is one thing, controlling it is another. The psychology of money isn't really about money, it's about you. It's about the fears that hold you back, the ego that drives your decisions, and the silent beliefs that shape the way you earn, spend, and save. It reminds us that wealth isn't a finish line, it's a mindset. That the goal isn't to have more, but to need less. That success isn't measured in luxury, but in peace. And maybe, money doesn't change people. It just reveals who they've been all along. If this message hit you, if you felt that quiet click somewhere inside, you'll want to read the full book. We left a link in the description for you to get your copy. Trust me, it's one of those reads that doesn't just change how you think about money, it changes how you think about life. And before you go, drop a comment. What's the biggest belief about money you had to unlearn? We read every one. And don't forget to subscribe, because here, we expose the habits and beliefs quietly sabotaging your wealth. See you in the next video.